So here we are in Essex, UK, and I promised you that I would take you on a tour of our Stella Cherry tree as the cherries starting to ripen. So this year is going to be a really fantastic year for cherries. Very early indeed. We've had a lot of really hot sunny weather, and this year, my goodness me, is she producing cherries. Now, as I've said before, if you can only grow one cherry tree in your garden, this is the one I'd recommend, because it's a mid-season normally producing tree. Some of the earlier varieties do sometimes suffer with frost damage, and you may have to have several of them to pollinate each other, whereas Stella is actually self-fertile. And the absolutely festooned in cherries. I'm going to take you inside the tree. It is actually slightly raining here at the moment, so I'm going to take you right inside and underneath the canopy of this tree to show you what's going on. Here we are, bunches after bunches of these cherries, as far as you can see, right up into the sky. It's not a very sunny day today, so we haven't got the blue skies, but if you have a look at these, I mean, it's absolutely bursting with cherries. And I don't mind if the birds have one or two. I mean, in a way, they're not really as ready as I suppose some people would say. If you have a small tree and you net them, you can let these go for another 2 or 3 weeks, and then they'll be a really deep colour. But what we tend to do, to be honest, is pick them as and when they are ready. The thing is, when you pick them, you need to chop them with scissors so that you've got the stalk, and then you want to put them in the house, preferably in a little tub which you can put in the fridge, because they do keep much better in the fridge, and they will keep for well over a week. If you want to freeze them, then all you have to do is put them in the fridge for about an hour and then transfer them into the freezer, and they'll keep really well, either stoned or as they are unstoned, and then you can take them out and use them anytime you want. You can make them into all kinds of desserts, or you can literally do what we do, which is eat them off the tree. I'll just show you this wonderful branch here, which has got some absolutely fantastic bunches of cherries all over, as far as the eye can see, right up into the canopy. We have got 1 or 2 insect traps on the tree. In the last few years, we've had a little bit of a problem with a fly that tends to get into the cherries and lay its eggs, and then you've got maggots. So this year we're trying a natural method to control this, because it did wreak havoc a few years ago with this situation. So we are trying this, because we never spray them with anything, and it has seemed to work this year. They do seem to be in very good condition. Whether it's the weather or the fly traps, I'm not quite sure, but whatever it is, something's working, because I don't do anything to this tree, as I mentioned before in the video. It really is just a question of plant and leave. The ones right at the top of the tree I leave for the birds, but if I stand back now, you'll see the tree in its full glory. So I would say, if you've only got room for one in your garden, then the Stella Cherry tree is the one I'd recommend. This tree is a good 15 foot tall now. It's on colt rootstock, and I couldn't possibly pick the ones at the top. They're breakfast, lunch and dinner for the blackbirds.